Welcome to the Money Down. We back in Super Bowl week in Vegas, so there's definitely a lot of money going down out there in Vegas.
Oh
man.
yeah, for sure.
It's gonna be a fun week out there. I know for players, I have been lucky enough to have been a part of a few of these games. So
talk your shit.
Yeah, talk that talk, Jay.
Talk your shit.
How many you got? Let them know how many you got.
Yeah, I got 3, been to 4.
But no, says 3.
Damn.
3.
No, but it's a great experience. As a whole, Warren, you got to go out to we beat Atlanta and everything. But it's a fun time, man. Obviously, the task at hand is the game, but I wouldn't want any player to go out there and just sit in the room the whole time. I mean, if you do that, that's ain't nothing wrong with that. But I would ask everybody to go out there to enjoy themselves, not get turned up the whole week. You may have a day where you go out, have some fun, enjoy the scenery, especially you in Vegas. I mean, I'm sure most players have already been to Vegas, but you might as well enjoy yourself. Go out to eat with your teammates, enjoy the bond. Because I said this entire week, I still talk about like the weeks that I had, throughout the Super Bowl, bonding with my teammates, having a good time and all that good stuff. But yeah, man, what y'all think Vegas gonna be like this week, man? It's definitely gonna be turned up.
Turned up.
I seen they got them people staying 25 miles away from the strip.
They know
They
better.
already know.
They know better. It's gonna be live.
But like you said, James, I mean, you've worked your butt off your whole life, but this whole season to get to this point, it make no sense to get out there and just be pooped up in the hotel, right? Like, these first couple of days, I think all the teams are coming in today, between today and tomorrow. If you get a chance, go out, enjoy yourself. But then, like in a regular game week, once Wednesday come around, it's time to lock in. So, the festivities that's going on, all the posters that's posted up, you just got to enjoy it, man. I think that whole atmosphere changing is definitely, something to be excited about.
Most definitely, man. Having it in Vegas, I mean, maybe Miami. I was gonna say there can't be a lot of better places than Vegas. I mean, Miami for sure, but I mean, you definitely got to enjoy that. Take a day, or take an evening to enjoy it. Your family probably in town or something like that. Enjoy it with your teammates, but definitely got to lock in. 3-4 days away from the game, tap in. Don't get yourself in no trouble. Make that curfew, so on and so forth.
Yeah, man.
But it's gonna be fire.
There's going to be a lot of temptation out there. But, I mean, like I said,
100%.
Most of the crowd not going to get out there probably till about Thursday or so. So that's why, like, Monday, whatever you get in, they got in tonight, whatever it is, you say have yourself a good time. But then just remember the task at hand. Make sure you all recover, hydrated. Because when Sunday roll around, you don't want to be half-stepping, man. You don't want to be, sugarcoat, dipping your toe in the water, and then next thing you're down 28-3. Man.
You're getting smoked. You're getting that pack smoked. Yeah, no. We've seen it on TV.
Hey, Sweet Feet, you the Super Bowl veteran. You got to tell us what's the game plan. How I if I want to be prepared and capture and take care of that moment. What's the sauce? Tell me the whole how the week go.
Everybody's thing is going to be different. For me, like we got there, I'm pretty sure we got there on Mondays. Like Mondays, you can probably, whatever. You want to go out, some people are going to go out. You want to go grab a bite to eat with a couple of your teammates and come back in, you do that. You probably like one good night to go out there and have fun, kind of let loose, that type of thing. Like I said, don't do anything, obnoxious to, jeopardize yourself or your team or anything like that. But, once Tuesday hits, then you just kind of do like your normal routine. You go out there, you practice, recover. Then when you have your free time, do what you want to do. Go to the mall, go out to whatever. I don't know what's going on out there in Vegas, a soccer game, a hockey game, whatever. Just have a good time. Just don't be too cooped up. Like, obviously we know, the game is the most important thing, but you don't want to, lose your mind. It's like, Super Bowl this Sunday. I can't go out there and do this. I can't do this. Like, I understand that. The task at hand, you got to let loose and have fun. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I never tried to treat any of these games bigger than what it was. At the end of the day, it's just another football game. It's going to be more cameras, more lights, more celebrities, all that stuff, which is cool. But when it comes down to it, it's still 11 on 11. You still going to have to put a hat on the hat. You still going to have to protect the football. All that stuff. The light's just going to be a little bit brighter. And your season, this is the last game of the season. All that stuff you work for, OTAs, training camp, off-season workouts, the full season, it's all for that. You just want to let loose. And like I said, you just got to enjoy yourself throughout the week and be smart. But I said the task at hand is to win that championship. I said it may not be pretty at first. It may be pretty at first, but you got to play that full 4 quarter. The thing that I will say, that's the longest football games because all the commercial breaks are so much longer. Halftime's longer. So I think that's the biggest part that people will not realize if you've never played in a football game, Super Bowl game. Those breaks are long. Like TV commercial breaks are long. Halftime is long. Usually for an NFL game, at halftime, quick, you get in there, you sit down, go take a piss, whatever, get a little PB&J, and boom, you right back out there. But you actually get to sit. It's like I feel like a college halftime, for the Super Bowl. You actually sit in there, you kind of vibe a little bit, you kind of itching to get back out there, that type of thing. You get to actually kind of draw up more stuff, whatever it is that you have to do at halftime. But yeah, everybody's plan is going to be different or routine throughout the week. I say if it's your first time, you just kind of follow somebody else if they've been there before. If not, just treat it like your normal routine back up, wherever you're at, even though you're in a different scene. But yeah, it's fun though, man. Like I said, lucky enough to have gone to 4 of them. Yeah. I enjoyed them all differently. From one where wasn't involved at all, where I knew I wasn't playing for the jump in Arizona. I enjoyed myself the whole week, that type of thing. And then, the rest of them, I played some sort of role in it. And like I said, you have fun that first night, then after that, you just gotta lock in.
So now you don't play it on you don't play it under probably one of the greatest head football coaches, possibly the greatest head football coach of all time. Like I know that, and we know that New England is strict. Well, we know that. Like you done shared that with us a little bit. So tell us what was some of the team rules y'all done had, or what was the do's and don'ts under Bill Belichick? Like what was that like?
Get your ass in that hotel.
9 p.m.
for Super Bowl week. No, Super Bowl week veterans. The first night, no curfew. Do whatever you need to do for rookies. Curfew is probably at midnight the first night, so rookies can't really do much. You can go step out, a little bit, do a little something, then get back to the room. But then after that, it's normal week. Curfew's there. You go out, do whatever you need to do. Just be back in your room when they come knocking at your door, all that good stuff. So it wasn't nothing too extra. Like I said, we're all grown men at the end of the day. At this point, if you're gonna jeopardize yourself and your team at that point. Then you tripping. The coach shouldn't have to do anything crazy. Although I do remember we played Philly in the Super Bowl we lost. Like I remember we were both staying in the Mall of America. It was cold as shit at that one. So wasn't nobody really going outside.
That thing was freezing.
But I remember talking to some of their players. They had curfew the first night. So everybody, veterans, rookies. So it just depends on the head coach and and it worked for them. Hell, they beat us. So it doesn't really matter what it is. It all comes down to whoever goes out there and plays the best. Come Sunday night.
That's crazy. We shooting this on. I think this was the day that the Philly special actually happened. So,
that was crazy.
And the crazy thing is, I've been on Instagram, NFL Network showing, man, James, all them Super Bowls you played in been right around this time. So I know you've seen 7 years ago, 4 years ago, 5, however many years. You seeing a lot of them plays that you made. But, hey, Warren, I wanted to, laugh at. He hinted at something earlier just saying, this is just another game. And it's just crazy to me that he even got that type of, energy and feeling. Bro, people play. Bro, people play. We talk about this all the time. People play 10 years, 12 years, however many years, and sometimes don't even get one to the playoffs. Don't even sniff the playoffs. And then if they do sniff it, they don't get out the first or the second round.
They won it out. They get bounced.
So for him to just play in so many of them games, dog, that's a blessing, bro.
For sure.
Shout out. That's a childhood dream. For sure.
100% is a blessing. And when I said I just treat like any other game, it's not to take anything away from the Super Bowl. It's just kind of for myself, because sometimes people oh, it's a Super Bowl. I got to do this, or I got to do this, or I got to do it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to overthink this. Yeah. I'm prepared. I'm trusting in what I did all week long. I'm trusting what the coaches have done. Then I'm just going to go out there and play loose and just have fun, just like any other regular game. I'm not going to, get a inside zone and it's the Super Bowl. I gotta bounce it outside. I gotta make somebody miss and make a play. I'm not trying to do nothing like that. I got the ball to 2-yard line. I'm about to jump over somebody. No, I'm gonna treat it like any other game. I'm gonna get my yards. I'm gonna get down. I'm gonna protect this football and live to fight another play. So that's kind of what I mean by that. Not to throw it out there I just been to all these Super Bowls and it's just a regular occurrence for me. I just try not to make the the moment too
Yeah.
big. You know what I'm saying? Because
Feel that.
it can get some people. Like I've had some teammates. I've seen it before. Like where guys get in this game and like I said, either they throw everything out there that first quarter and they ain't got nothing left for the rest of the game because they too juiced up or they too lackadaisical, whatever it is, man. It's a lot out there, dog. It's gonna be entertaining. Like I said, it's gonna be stars everywhere. They're gonna be showing everybody, on cameras, all that stuff. But it's a fun experience. You could be like I remember the game like we played in Atlanta. We played in Houston like a couple times throughout my career. Like going out there for like pregame, stadium looked completely different. Like it didn't feel like I was in Houston. Like they had it all dressed up and everything. I'm like, man, like they could really do all this to make this stadium look completely different for the Super Bowl. Man, it's a fun experience, dog. For real.
But you know, we gotta ask you because we gotta ask it for the fans, bro. What was one of the craziest things like you seen a teammate do or heard an opponent do like the week of the Super? And we can keep it confidential. We ain't got a name drop or nothing like that. But what was one of the craziest things that happened on the Super Bowl week?
Craziest thing during the Super Bowl week, it's tough. I'll just go to like the game we played Philly. Like my dog, like Brandon Cooks. Like y'all all seen the play. Like you know what I'm saying. Like he caught a little hitch route or whatever it is, a little under route. Like I said, sometimes like you just get in one of those modes, like trying to make a play, dance around a little too much. Like everybody on the sideline, get up the field. Like he was out for the game. So like.
Hey, shout out B Cooks, bro.
Yeah,
shout out B Cooks, bro. He'll baller.
That's my dude, man. It's tough, man. Those situations, like I said, you want to go out there and perform well, but at the same time, you gotta lock in and just, like I said, get what you can in those situations. Because I said, those boys they hitting out there too, man. You know what I'm
saying? Anything off the field?
No, we've never had that really any issues, like at least to my knowledge, the week of the Super Bowl. I think everybody kind of handles their business, whether it's preparing, whether you step out, just make sure you back where you need to be. And like I said, I think everybody watches out for one another for sure. And like I said, we were lucky enough to play in a couple of them, so it wasn't like guys. I mean, obviously there's some people on the team that only been to one or maybe two things of that nature, but like I said, we all handled our business and accordingly, and we're lucky enough to win a couple.
Hey, the funniest thing was when we talk about that Atlanta Super Bowl, and like you said, like you guys were in Houston, and you talk about just all the celebrities. You would have thought y'all was in Atlanta the way it was. Bro, you know what I'm saying?
Bro,
like,
hey, for real.
That first half, I swore I was in Atlanta, bro. Every play they made, bro, they are panning the camera to an actor or rapper from Atlanta, and they playing like they music, bro. Like,
they was going.
They were having a good old time. We just sitting over there salty, man. That first half, I ain't gonna hold you. It was like going into halftime. I'm like, dog. Like I finally get to play in the Super Bowl. My first time actually playing it. We get ran out the gym, man.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's like one of the funniest things. Is like being at, because I was actually able to watch that from the stands, and bro, that was cold. This is like hearing everybody like be super quiet, like all the Patriots fans be like super quiet during the first half of that game, and then as soon as the second half, bro, you would have sworn somebody hit the lottery, bro. Everybody turned up, bro. That bro, the energies flip so quick, and that's how important games like this are, bro. That's the type of energy that you get, with like momentum swings and stuff like that. Yeah. Like we're used to having that at Wisconsin, right? Like we played at Wisconsin, like fans will be quiet, the camp ground will be quiet, but like being at the Super Bowl, bro, where it's just like it's on a different magnitude, bro. It was so different, bro. Just seeing how much the energy changed, bro. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Man, y'all know me, bro. I've been a Falcon fan since I was actually in the 4th grade when I moved to Atlanta with my dad. That's when I first started being able to go to football games. But, I just throw this out there, man. I a college kid. I was getting out of college, right? Like that was the time where I was starting to prepare, for, the draft X, Y, and Z. And, man, I betted everything I had, y'all boys. and it's so crazy, man, because y'all know me. I talk, when it's come to, competitive in sports, I talk big shit. So Brady threw that pick before going into halftime. At the time, my Cash App Venmo is just making that noise. Bing, bing. Y'all boys, that money coming in. I'm talking cash. I'm telling people, nice doing business with you. I'm talking all type of stuff. And man, you know, for y'all boys to come back and win, dog. It's just the fact that I had to send everybody back they bread.
Bro,
And then I got people like, hold on, what you doing? Like, I'm like, what you mean? Like, no, you gotta send me. You gotta send me
bread back.
Double up, man.
Man, I had to double up, dog. But it was dope because obviously, you know, I wanted you to do good, the homie and the bro to do good, and you snapped for sure. Like that game,
bro.
I mean, it was crazy and cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you touched the paint 3 times, and then the 2-point conversion,
and
and then a walk-off touchdown, like. So, you know, I was happy for you, but I wanted us to get that bowl. Hey, we ain't been the same since.
I was about to say they cut me not soon before that, maybe like a season or two, bro. I was happy they ass lost. What got into the end zone for the game winning drive. I was turned. Shout out Jay Wayne. Yeah, I got to experience that. Shout out my dog.
So I was happy for you.
Yeah, that Jones was electric for sure, man. That's one for the ages for sure. You know, everybody who was, you know, watching, you know, there at home, you know, wherever, it definitely was electric. Before we jump into this year's Super Bowl, did y'all check out the Pro Bowl, the 7-on-7? You know, it just happened or so. How do y'all feel about that? Y'all think it needs to go back to being a full game and pads and everything?
Yeah, bro. You got the best in the league playing up against each other. Like people done voted for these people to, you know, make it to the All-Star game. Like we trying to see a real game, bro. We trying to see how the NFC fares against the AFC, the NFC's best players versus the AFC's best players. And like, bro, I probably, to be honest with you, I probably ain't really watched a Pro Bowl since like mid 2000s. Like I haven't really sat there and watched it, to be honest with you. Like I've, you know, watched highlights and things like that, maybe sit down and watch a game here and two. But like once they started like getting past the like, oh, I'm gonna throw this ball and like everybody just like letting them run by, like ain't nobody really blocking up front. I kind of just like, that's not football, you know. Now they changed it to this 7-on-7 format, which 7-on-7 ain't even competitive. You know what I'm saying? Like at least make it competitive. You know what I'm saying? So nah, I don't like it. They need to go back, man. I'm trying to see pass popping. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see, you know, real football.
So what you think it'll take for them to obviously get back to that? I mean, obviously, I kind of know they for most dudes.
You gotta up the score on that check. You gotta up the score on the check. And I mean, those guys, obviously, you know, it takes so much to get voted to be a Pro Bowl or an All-Pro and all that stuff. So, I mean, I think the NFL makes enough bread where they could do it. And if that's something that's important to them and, you know, saving this game for the fans, you got to do what you got to do. You know, it's crazy you say, Warren, like the last Pro Bowl, I actually remember like being invested in and watching was, I want to say the one that they did in Arizona when you guys played the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. They had like the neon green jerseys and stuff like that. And it was actually a good game. Like I remember Odell making some catches, and that's the type of stuff you need to bring this game back to being magical how it was when we was kids. Like when I think of the Pro Bowl, I think of Sean Taylor smoking the kicks,
smoking the punter,
smoking the punter. I think of like Mike Vick and all those boys, Peyton Manning's doing the little challenges during the week, which they still do, but it just the weekend it don't got the same feel as it felt when I was a kid. So if it's important to you, NFL, up the score on these guys' checks, and you'll see guys want to play in it more and want to contribute and make it back to how it was before.
Yeah, for sure. I always turn on for like 15 minutes to kind of peep. I watched a little bit of the one that happened, just a couple days ago today. It's like it's whatever. It's not, guys ain't really out there going hard. They're having fun and whatnot. I do think like that the injuries, that's probably like a part of it, even though we've never seen like really not to my knowledge, anybody really get injured in the Pro Bowl side from when Sean Taylor smoked the punter.
He ain't get injured.
I know him. I mean, he just got he got his pride hurt a little bit. But I think the only way for them to get it back is like what you said. They got to incentivize it. Whether it's the winner get $500K, loser get 150, 200K, something like that, to really put out on the line where guys feel like they're out there playing for something. Obviously, it's an honor getting voted in, which it was obviously more prestigious. Back in the day, guys didn't care about getting the extra 500. Just you got that honor and you want to go out there and prove why you got that honor. I'm gonna go out there and beat the person in front of me.
Yeah.
Like even when I turned it on for a little bit today, and I was like just seeing the guys that are lined up across from each other. Like I love to see, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Jamar Chase, matched up against Slay and the other cornerbacks that are on the other side of the ball, and vice versa. Like at all those different positions, you love because it's like you playing Madden. You put all the best players on the best team lined up against somebody else, and see kind of how it shakes out. Whether it's not even them playing a full 4-quarter football game. I don't know. Like just play a half, 2 quarters. I don't know.
Yeah, 2 halves.
Split it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
something like that, just to make it back fun again. Because I think it's cool to be voted in and to go out there, just jog around. Which they still make athletic plays. We know how talented all these guys are.
Sure.
But yeah, I would love to see it get back in the past as well. But I see it from both sides, from players and the injury perspective. But I see it from like the fan perspective. It's like why am I coming out here? Obviously voting these guys in, and they're out here playing 7-on-7. It needs to be a little bit more.
And I kind of look at it like, I mean, the NBA had this year where they did their first, in-season tournament, and you seen LeBron, right, say it in it like, for that 500, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's the top dog of of their league.
You set the tone.
So you set the tone. So I think if it's like I said, if it's important for the NFL, which I think it is. I mean, I know they've been, every year in those league meetings, they're trying to find ways to make it back special how it was. I mean, everybody playing for that check, and especially when you make it to the Pro Bowl, that's such a that's a way for you to get paid, for when your contract, that's something you can come to the table with. So, I mean, if they want to do it, they know what they got to do. It's plain and simple.
Yeah, for sure. And now we can just jump into this year's Super Bowl. We talked about a little bit, last week, 49ers, Chiefs, which is going to be a great football game. Be some good storylines to come out of this game. The first one we could talk about is, do y'all think with this win, the Chiefs become a dynasty, or are they already a dynasty? To me, they already are a dynasty. They've won, 2 Super Bowls in the past 4 years or so, and they're in the AFC Championship every year. And obviously, they have the best quarterback in the league right now, Patrick Mahomes. I just feel like everybody knows if this team, throughout the season, if they make it to the playoffs, it's a tough out. It's going to be a tough 4-quarter football game for me. They're already in that. If they are able to go out here and win this one, which will be back-to-back for them as well, which hasn't been done, I think, since the Patriots back in 04, 05 or something like that. I think that'd just be icing on the cake. But for me, they're already in it. I don't know what y'all feeling about that.
I agree with that, man. And if there is question to it, I think winning this Super Bowl puts a stamp on it. It's just like they are a dynasty. I mean, they've had success. They've been successful over the last, I don't know how long, since Patrick Mahomes joined the team.
They was even successful before him.
I mean, they were for
no
sure.
Chip,
They were no chip, but yeah. But I mean, I definitely think this kind of puts a stamp on it if they go out there and win this game. I mean, I don't question it. I do also think that they're a dynasty already, but like I said, just to answer the questions. But I mean, they got a really good chance, man. It's going to be a great game, dude. You got 2 amazing teams, great coaches, great athletes, bro. I really think this is going to be one of the Super Bowls for the ages. Not to mention, you just beat San Fran 2 years ago. So now they back. They trying to get revenge, get them a Super Bowl, bro. It's going to be a fire game, bro, both on the offensive and the defensive side of the ball, man. I'm super excited to watch this. I've always been excited to watch the Super Bowl, but since my dog, Jay done stepped away, this is probably gonna be the next most exciting Super Bowl I'm excited to watch for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with them as already being a dynasty. I think, if there is any question about it, them winning this game will put a stamp on it. I look at the last couple of years that they've been able to make it. Having Tyreek Hill, just having so many top dogs, Tyrann Matthews. When you look back at those teams when they won a Super Bowl and then the one when they lost to Tampa Bay, they really had a way better team constructed just with stars all around. And then for them to lose Tyreek Hill, lose Tyrann Matthew, get to the Super Bowl, and beat a Philadelphia team that was, when you think about it, was a juggernaut, right? Got all pros, Pro Bowlers at every position on offense and defense. And just with that roster that they had, I just remember the storyline being last year, man, I don't know how the hell Pat Mahomes going to do it. and he found a way, right? Like even with all the injuries and stuff like that, he still found a way in a big game and came out and got that dub. And I'm kind of feeling the same way, you know, about this game as well. Like when you just think about I want to say San Fran has an all pro, honestly, at every position from quarterback, running back, O-line, D-line, linebacker, like somebody's a, you know, receiver, tight end, like somebody's an all pro. And it's one of those games, like, I don't know how Patrick Mahomes is gonna do it, but he's still that good of a player where it's like you just know it's not smart to count him out, right? Like, so, you know, for them being a dynasty, I say they already there. And then you kind of hinted to it, Jay, you know, just with the storylines, man, right? Like this is Shanahan's third time in a Super Bowl, second time as a head coach.
You know, heartaches, man. You do.
And his losses have, you know, one, you know, being up 20, you know, blowing that first Super Bowl against y'all in Houston, and then, you know, the Super Bowl the first time against Kansas City. They really a post away. If Jimmy G hits, you know, Emmanuel Sanders on that post, that's a touchdown. That put the game away. So he's been so close, but we also know, like, we start looking like, all right now, like you getting us there, but you ain't getting it done.
How you gonna finish?
Are you gonna finish? Right. So it's a lot of storylines, and it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to look at it if, you know, Shanahan's not able to win this. Well, obviously, going up against, you know, a great organization, great quarterback, great coach, you know, all that stuff. How will they look at it, you know, if he loses another one? Like, obviously, like you taking us there, like you said, but we're not getting over that hump and winning the game that we need the most. I mean, obviously, you don't get rid of a guy like that. This team is playing for championships every single season. But I think the question marks will start to arise, though. The more you get here and you can't finish – yeah, people gonna be like, I think we need.
Like, in a league too now, like now more than ever, bro. You're seeing coaches get to the playoffs, and guess what? They still you'll have fans calling for
their job.
Look at the Eagles for an example. The Eagles people are calling for their head coach's job, and it's like, but you just took y'all to a Super Bowl.
But that is one of the toughest fan bases, though, too. I mean, you got to give it on that. Like, that's one of the toughest fan bases in the league. Like,
and the 49ers are a tough fan base.
I mean, for sure. I'm not doubting that at all. But James, like for somebody, you know, that's been there multiple times, have won and had the success, like how much does like the experience of winning a Super Bowl play a factor? Or is it just one of those like whoever comes to play? I mean, obviously, you know, you're talking about a league where everybody's great, but like experience of being there time and time again has to play a factor in it. Like with, you know, as much as Kansas City's been there as compared to the roster of San Fran, they were there 2 years ago, you know, but they ain't been there in a while. You know, how much does that play a factor?
I think it plays a small factor. I don't think it plays much. I know it's something that Belichick preaches to us all the time. Once we get to the playoffs, make it to the Super Bowl, he'd be like, Super Bowl experience, doesn't matter. He'll show tons of clips of, you know, guys, this is his first Super Bowl experience, the guy he's playing. This is this guy's first Super Bowl experience. He has a couple touchdowns, 100 yards receiving. So it doesn't necessarily matter. Like you said, it's all about who shows up, who embraces the moment, who plays well. You know, whether it's, you know, fourth quarter, 2 minutes going the game to close out the football game, or like I said, it could end up being a blowout. Who knows? Whoever comes out ready to play, like it doesn't matter how many times you've been there. Like we've seen the guys have been there a couple of times. They can go out there, you know, stink it up, and it's a new crew in there. Their first time, they just amped up to be there, excited to, you know, be on that stage and have a great football game. So there's always going to be, you know, there's going to be somebody in this football game who like we don't expect, you know, to go out there and have a good football game, and they're going to go out there and steal the show or make a play, you know, in the fourth quarter, in the game. Like, damn, I wasn't expecting him to make it, but I said he's ready for the moment. He may not have known his number was going to get called, but he ran that route to win, or he covered up his receiver one-on-one coverage, made the pass breakup. He was just ready to embrace that challenge. But you did bring up that game, you know, 2020 49ers versus Chiefs. I don't know if y'all seen this in the media from last week. You know, the 49ers owner and Nick Bosa, you know, calling out the Chiefs offensive line, calling them, you know, holders and whatnot. The owner came out and said, like, I think they asked him in the media, like, what do you remember from that game in 2020? It was like, I remember the offensive line holding a lot. And then they asked, like, Nick Bosa, what is your thoughts on the Chiefs offensive tackles? He's like, I know they hold a lot. Like, what have you seen from us? I know they hold a lot. How do y'all feel about that? I mean, obviously they're trying to,
That's
make
going
the
on
refs.
the wall.
They're trying to make the refs pay attention a little bit more to make sure they get a few,
For sure.
holding calls and whatnot. I don't know how y'all feel about that. I don't love that, but
Hey, James, you know anything. These refs to be able to officiate this game, they got to go through all kind of hoops and whatnot. And the thing is, the 49ers know what refs are gonna, what refs are gonna officiate this game as well. Y'all know how I feel about owners talking, bro. Just be quiet.
Just stop playing.
Bosa, hey, the star player on your team, if you want to talk trash, like I said, if my best player, want to talk trash, I gotta, I gotta live and stick by his side or whatever you say. But owner, man, let the players play, let the coaches coach. You ain't got no dictation in how the outcome of this game is gonna turn out. So just be quiet, man. Just be quiet.
I was gonna say, and if that's an issue, you might as well go ahead and send them refs a gift bag right now. Go ahead, send a little basket, some fruit, some popcorn, something, bottle of champagne. Be like, hey man, we just appreciate you being here. Something, butter them up. But no, man,
send her some champagne to the suite or something.
Champagne to the suite, you know what I'm saying? Some nice fresh towels. No, but I'm cool with the trash talk. I'm cool with poking the bear a little bit. I think that's just wall material. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How we used to do in college, somebody make a comment in the media, you put that on the wall in the weight room, you put it on the wall in your position room, and you just use it to fuel the fire. So I personally don't mind it. I don't mind a little bit of banter. Like, I agree with you, owners can kind of stay out of it a little bit. You ain't got no dictation on the game,
Yeah.
But if Nick Bosa want to say some stuff, I'm with it. That's the big dog, that's one of the big dogs on the team, rock with it. But I think for Kansas City, it's just, they're gonna throw it in the fire. It's just fuel to the fire. So I mean, it's gonna be nice to see that front seven battle on both sides.
It's gonna be a telling story for sure. The Chiefs O-line versus 49ers defensive line. I think that's really gonna be the determining factor of the football game.
I know we talked about players. I'm gonna go with our Big Ten brother, man. I think a lot of this is gonna fall on George Kittle, dog. And I just remember his reaction to when they lost in 2020, and him and Debo, having that moment where Kansas City is celebrating and they gotta sit there and you gotta watch that, bro, right? You gotta watch and understand that you might not ever get to this point ever again. And it's taken them so long to get back, right? They've been in the NFC Championship, I'm going to say 2-3 times the last couple of years, but just getting back to this moment, it's extremely tough. So I think G Kittle going to have to make some big plays, man, for him to, for them guys to be able to take control of this game. Because they're going to be stacking the box. They're going to be trying to stop CMC. They're going to be trying to stop, all the motions and window dressing from Debo. Now you need that next player to go ahead and just open all this up from a scheme standpoint.
All right, now it's Super Bowl Sunday coming up. What's y'all predictions on the game? I guess
go ahead,
y'all can give y'all
let us
predictions.
know. Let us hear it.
And give y'all MVP. All right, I like the Chiefs in this one. I think it's gonna be one of those, 4-quarter football games, last possession games. I think Steve Spagnuolo, like he's been doing, man. I think he's gonna dial it up, make it tough on Purdy. I think Purdy will perform well, but they're gonna challenge him. They're gonna make him play from behind. I think they're gonna give him some different looks, corner blitzes, all that stuff. Yeah, I think they just edge them out. I just feel like the Chiefs, they just found a way all year long. I think this is going to be another one of those games, another challenge where they think, maybe the 49ers front, their defense could slow them down. They don't have any receivers, all that stuff. But I think Mahomes is going to have a great day. And MVP, I think it's going to go on the defensive side. I'm going to roll with Trent McDuffie. I'm gonna go with a cornerback. I feel like he may get an interception and a sack or something like that. I'm gonna roll with a defensive player.
Hey, for Trent to be he gonna have to have a He gonna have to have a day. He gonna have to have a day. I'm gonna go San Fran, man. I just think Kyle Shanahan. It's time, dog. It's time for you to put that shit together, man. We done been to, made it to the Super Bowl. 3 times. Been in a whole bunch of NFC championship games and have fallen short. It's time to finally get over that hump. I think Brock Purdy is gonna have a really good game, but for my MVP, I gotta go CMC. Right now, he playing at a whole different level. In order for them to win, right, they have to rely on that run game, and I just think KC's linebacker group, safety group, they're gonna have a tough time dealing with all that window dressing with Trent Williams pulling, these guys doing this, motions with Debo, getting CMC the ball in space and in between the tackles. It's gonna be a lot to deal with, and I think Shanahan gonna pull his best stuff out. So I'm gonna go San Fran as the winner and CMC MVP.
You got one.
I'm gonna go with the refs in the black and white.
Hey, hold on, buddy. Well, I know you're not gonna pick San Fran. We know who you like. So.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. And I'm a Rams fan. We don't like San Fran at all. But I gotta go with San Fran, bro. I think San Fran I think San Fran's gonna come back, and we're gonna see a different San Fran than we saw in 2020, right? In the Super Bowl, we're gonna see a 4-quarter game. My key matchup right now is gonna be the front seven. It's gonna be Bosa and Chase Young versus Kansas City's front line. I think that's where the difference is gonna be made. You gotta make Pat uncomfortable. You got to get them, and I think they have the guys to do it. Like San Fran's had a great front for a very long time, and they are some difference makers. You know what I'm saying? But now you got somebody else on the bookend aside from Nick Bosa that you had in 2020. Not saying whoever else. I can't even remember right now. I can't remember who else they had on the end. 2020.
Armstead,
2020. They had to do it.
He wasn't the end though. Armstead's interior.
D4.
Yeah, D4.
Who's a great edge rusher. But I think Chase Young, has a little bit more, and I'm really excited to see what they do against Kansas City's front. And I think that makes the difference. And truth be told, my MVP is gonna go to George Kittle. I think George Kittle is gonna be an X factor on that offense. Like I 100% agree with what you said, Soj, talking about how George Kittle is going to have to make big plays in order for San Fran to win. And I think they get it done. So I'm going with San Fran. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a highly score game. I'm going to probably say like 13-20 or something like that, but I think George Kittle gets a touchdown to seal the game. And I'm going to say he goes for like 8 receptions for like 110 or something in a tug to seal it. You know what I'm saying? But I really think that San Fran has what it takes this year.
It's going to be a fun one, man. I'm excited to watch this one. 2 great franchises, one trying to get over that hump, one who trying to go back to back, man. It's going to be fun, man. That's a wrap for this week's Money Down Pod. Make sure you subscribe. We on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that at the Money Down Pod. Make sure you check us out, man. Should be a fun one, Super Bowl Sunday.
All of them.
All of them.
Let's get it.